Hello, we are live. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you are watching us live with right now, and who will be watching us replay. We are here with amazing business owner from all over the world, and we came with the one of the most common question we usually get, and that is, I can I do this business while working full time? Before moving to topic, let me introduce myself. My name is Samira. I'm originally from Nepal, currently living in Pennsylvania, USA. I'm mom of three kids, and I'm a registered nurse working full time. And I'm running this business on the side as well. So many people assume that they need to quit the job to do any to start any kind of business, but in reality, all many of us are working full time and juggling family, doing the a family responsibility, and in our busy schedule, we are still running this business successfully. Today, we are here to share our personal experience, hopefully encourage those who are wondering if they can do this or is it possible for them. So let's move into a topic. And Ate Immer, how are you managing your work and this business alongside?
All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're tuning in. My name is Emma. I was born and raised in Batangas, Philippines, and now I live in Quebec, Canada. I'm a wife and a mom of three, a midwife by profession, and a full time foster mom. I came to Canada at a young age as a nanny and have worked many different jobs over the years, from nanny to hotel housekeeping attendant to independent sales representative. And today I'm proud to be a mentor and digital business owner. So, when I started this business, I was working as a sales representative, and honestly, my schedule was packed. And my day started early, making sure the kids were fed and ready for school. And then I would rush to beat the traffic so I could get to my first home presentation by 10 a.m. And most days I did 3 to 4 presentations. And in between presentation, I would drive home to prepare meals, do house chores, run errands, and then head back out for my evening presentation at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. And usually I get home between 10 and 11 at night, and sometimes 12 o'clock or midnight because when appointments run behind. So I was constantly exhausted, burnout, always on the go, feeling guilty for missing moments with my kids, and constantly stressed financially, and barely had time for myself. And that was my life almost 7 days a week. So, what made me decide to start this business, even though I'm already busy? The answer is simple, because I was busy. I wanted more time, more flexibility. Because I was busy, I wanted time freedom. I wanted to create an additional income stream without sacrificing moments with my children and my family. And I knew that if I kept doing the same thing, I would keep getting the same results. So even though it wasn't always easy in the beginning. I made sure I made time for this business because I have a goal and I have a dream, and I believe that making small sacrifices today can create a better future for me and my family. So, can you do this business while you're working full time? Absolutely. In fact, that's exactly how many of us here started. Because I didn't start because I have extra time. I started because I needed a better way to gain flexibility in my life. And was it challenging at first? Did I have to make adjustment and be intentional with my time? Absolutely yes. But I learned that you don't find time. You make time for the things that matter. And even If it's just 30 minutes to an hour a day, as long as you're doing it consistently and you follow the system. So even if you're working full time and wondering if this is possible for you, my answer is 100% yes. Because you don't have to quit your job, or you don't have to be an expert to start this business. All you need is an hour or a few hours a day, and that willingness to learn, and also the reason why you're doing it, and the commitment to make a small steps consistently. So because sometimes the people who seems the busiest are the ones um, most motivated to create different future, and I am one of them. So thank you for listening.
All right. Yes, thank you so much. I hope you can hear me okay.
Mhm.
And yes, I welcome everyone who's going to be watching this on a live or on a replay. And today is another topic that we can discuss to our viewers that will give them some clarification about all their question about starting this business, which is today we talk about, can I do this business while working full time? So yes, we as mentioned, most of us started this business while we are working full time. And today I'm gonna be discussing about two subtopics in regards to that main topic, which is what was your biggest concern about time when you first joined, and also how do you fit this business into your current schedule? Yes, because all of us, we already have a busy schedule. Most of us here, all of us here are parents. So you can imagine working full time as a parent plus all the responsibilities, it can be chaotic, right? And at that time, when I first started, I was working in healthcare. I am a healthcare employee, as I mentioned, and I am based here in Maine, USA, which I am a mom and also a wife and also a daughter to an immigrant parent. So, waking up at 4 a.m. for my shift, juggling work, motherhood, household responsibilities, and trying to be present for my family. And, my days are already felt full. There were moments when I felt like I barely had enough time for myself, let alone start something new. And I remember thinking, how am I supposed to fit a business into a life that's already so busy? And as a mom, I didn't want to sacrifice the little moments with my daughter already. Those moments were the reason why I was looking for something different in the first place. And what I also realized was that I didn't need hours and hours every day. In this business, I needed consistency. Instead of trying to do everything at once, I started using small pockets of time. Sometimes it was during my lunch break at work. Sometimes after my daughter went to sleep, or sometimes it was 20 or 30 minutes before work. Some days I could do more, and some days I could only do a little, because that's okay. That is life. One thing that helped me knowing is that I didn't have to build everything from scratch by myself. There were systems already, training, and step by step guidance that helped me stay focused on what mattered most. Today, I still have responsibilities. I am still a mom. I still have family commitments, and life is still busy. But this business fits into my schedule because I work around my life, not the other way around. If you are a working parent or an immigrant chasing a better future or someone trying to create more options for your family, you don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need a perfect schedule, or you don't have to wait for that perfect time, because that perfect time will never come. You don't need extra hours magically added to your day. I remember this week we were just so busy at work, and my supervisor asked my teammates, "What do you need from me today?" And one of my coworkers said, "I need more hours in a day." But that doesn't happen. Life just happen. You simply need a willingness to start where you are and use the time you do have. Because if you're already working hard every day for your family, imagine what can happen when some of that effort start building something that belongs to you. And that's exactly why we started to create more freedom, more flexibility, and more moments with the people we love most. So that is it from me. I hope it gave you some clarification on that you can really start this business while working full time. Thank you.
Thank you, Sis Rona. I can totally relate with you. The reason I started was my kids, like yours. I wanted to have more time because on the first year of my first kid, I missed so much milestone, and I didn't want the same for my daughter. Who I started this business when I was pregnant with my daughter, so I was working full time, and I was heavily pregnant. And even though my days are full, I started this business because after learning about this business, I figured it out. We can do it in a pocket of time. We don't need a whole like 8 hours sit in a computer in front of computer. Like you said, I work in a lunch break after nap time. Um, you know, 5 minutes here and there. If I have a time, I can give 1 to 2 hours. If I done only 15 minutes, I can do this business. And with that simple, a small, consistent effort, it add up more now, right? We don't like look for the instant result, but those 15 minutes every day, I build my business in this three entire years, and this is something. So yes, people who are thinking like it's too busy to start, I would say that's exactly how we felt in the beginning, right? Thinking about like our household, like all the responsibilities, life doesn't suddenly become less busy before we pursue our goal. So that's how we've been managing in our, the time we have, a small time. So I will ask the people, um, what what will be the cost of waiting? Like if you are already too busy, what will change in a 6 month from now and a year from now? For most people, life remain busy. Life is life, right? Life, every every time things happen in a life. So waiting for perfect time means postponing the result you want it in a life. So the better question will be: am I willing to invest small amount of time today to create a more option for my family, more option for myself, and the family of the future? So yes, because 1 hour invested today can look very different from 1 hour a day wasted. So future is built often on those small daily choices and the consistent effort. That's what I wanted to add. So, Ati Joy, would you like to add some more?
So, thank you, Samita, and thank you guys for inviting me to join you tonight. Before I start my discussion, I would like to share of how I manage this online business while I'm working full time as a mom, as a healthcare worker. So, my name is Joyce Domingo. I am from Ontario, Canada. I am a certified dental assistant and a certified personal support worker. I decided to retire from the dental world, so I am just working now as a personal support worker. I've been in the business for a while and I really enjoyed it. And how I started was I was working three jobs. So I was working as a personal support worker. Um, I had two shifts. I had one in the community during the day, and I had one at the nursing home at night. And then I was also working as a dental assistant during my days off. And it was tough because I was a single mom at that. I just became a single mom at that time, and I lost a lot of time with my children. I hardly see them, and I hardly get the time to spend moments with them, and especially those were the times that when they were very young. So I looked for something that would make me get out of that busyness of my work. And so when I did find this opportunity, I quit my two full-time part-time jobs and I just focused on the dentistry, because between a personal support worker and the dental world, I preferred to be the dental assistant because I also manage the front desk. um, when I got this business, I was into um, the managerial position, so it was really a full-time job. And yet, you know, a lot of people are also wondering or asking me how I managed to do that. And they usually ask me, how do you find the time to work full-time and build a business at the same time? It's a common question that I usually get with people that I meet, and then I tell them about my two jobs. But because if you've ever worked full time as a full time job employee, you know that at the end of the day, like with me, I used to travel an hour and a half to work. This was before I moved to a different city. So I leave at 6:30, and then I come home at around 8 o'clock. But because I was doing managerial job, I was still like trying to learn how to run the office. So at the end of the day, I'm exhausted mentally and physically. But when you get home, you still have responsibilities. You still have commitments to your children. And sometimes you need to do some errands. You need to prepare food, help them with their homework. And sometimes all you want to do is just sit down and relax and close your eyes for a second. So how do we do this? How can we fit a business into an already busy life? First of all, we are moms. We can juggle so many things. That's what the thing is. We are so used to managing things. We can open several boxes in our like responsibilities. We're not compartmental, so we can multitask. But for me, it wasn't about having more time. It was about becoming more intentional with the time that I already had. That was it. So when I first started looking into the online business, I wasn't sitting around with hours of free time. I was exhausted at the end of the day. So what I realized was that if something is important, if you really wanted to do something, we usually find a way to make room for it. I've I've always carried this from Khalil Gibran. If you want to change, if you want to see a change in the world, you have to make that change for yourself, because nothing will do it for nobody will do that for you. It's only you. So the change that you want, or the time that you would like, is maybe it's just 30 minutes before work. And I think Samita mentioned that during your break. Maybe it's an hour in the evening after the kids go to bed. Or maybe it's a few hours on the weekend during your me time. And sometimes, on the weekends the kids sleep in, then that's your time to do things. The time looks different for everyone. So when you're doing this, if you are planning to do this, like, find a time, make it intentional of what you want to do and where you want it, how you want it done. And I think that's something people don't talk about enough. We often think we need a perfect schedule, the perfect plan, and a lot of free time before we start something new. But in reality, most people start where they are, with busy lives and a limited time. Another thing I've learned is that consistency matters more than intensity. You don't have to do everything at once. Small actions take consistently over time, and that can create big changes. So, I'm curious, for our viewers, have you ever wanted to start something for yourself, whether it's a business, a hobby, or a personal goal, but felt like there just weren't enough time in a day? We would love to hear your thoughts, because we know so many people are navigating the same challenge. And if you can relate to what we're talking about and what we're going through, but we've overcome it, comment, share, and like our live today. And there's one thing I want to ask you before I move before we move on, or before I go back to our host. What's the biggest challenge you face when it comes to finding time for your goals? Thank you everyone, and thank you Samita for having me, Rona and Emmer. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ate Joyce. Yes, we all wanted, we all were busy at the point where when we started this business, because we all wanted the time freedom, more time for ourselves, more time for our family, right? So yeah, if you are watching and wondering whether you can do this business while working full time, know that many of us exactly where you are right now. So you don't have everything, you don't have, you don't need to have everything figured it out, and you don't have endless hours available. The few minutes here and there that works, because the small consistent action build the empire. And what matter most is willingness to learn, start, and take small consistent step. And then the sometime you know, you can ask, can I make the time for something that could help me create the future I want? Ask yourself, and then think. And thank you so much for joining us today. At the end, do you have anything to say, at the Emer, Joyce, at the Joyce or Rona? Anything you want to add?
I just want to say thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you are interested on how we started on this business, as you can see, we were all busy when we first started this business, and we are still busy. It's just showing you that no matter where you are at your life now, you can start something different aside from what you are doing now. Start where you are, start what you have, and you can go from there. Reach out to any of us if you are ever interested. Our websites are on the screen. Register with your full name and your valid email address, and we can guide you on how to start this business. We will see you again on our next live. Bye, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.